Hey guys, welcome back to wemetatacme. I'm so excited to be here with Whitney Fransway. Hi.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So, guys, it's Whitney's birthday today, and she is doing us the honor of spending it with us. And how cool is that?
I thought, why not? I love a girl chat, especially about
I
relationships.
love it. So, I don't know. I mean, you're so young, so I feel like I can ask how, like,
Ish.
you are. So, what birthday is this? Is this a big one? Like, do
This
we
is
care?
35.
Okay, I mean, welcome to the good life. I've
Yeah,
been 35 for almost a year now, and I honestly think that it is an amazing year. I truly believe that.
I'm excited. I feel like in your 30s, you feel so much more confident in your skin and
Mm-hmm.
you know yourself more. You know what you like and don't like more and what you'll
Yeah.
put up with and what you won't. So I feel good in my 30s. It's just a little scary thinking about, oh my gosh, I'm approaching my 40s.
Not really. I feel like you're not actually in your late 30s until you're 38.
True. We'll go with that.
Yeah, we're gonna stay with that. We always start with the same question, which is what is your favorite romantic gesture for someone to do for you?
Honestly, I like the little simple things. I
Mm-hmm.
think, like, when Kenny brings me coffee in the morning in bed, like, something that I usually do for myself, but usually it's an act of service.
Yeah.
That or, like, surprises with flowers or,
Mm-hmm.
like, does something out of his way during his day to just, like, make my day a little easier. I think that's what I appreciate the most.
I'm a huge acts of service girl,
Yeah,
so I respect it. Tell us the story of you and Kenny. Did you meet on Raya, or is that not true?
that is true.
Okay, tell us.
So we met on Raya,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't until, like, 6 months later we met in person when I was spending time in New York, kind of feeling out if I wanted to live here. So I was spending a few weeks here with a few girlfriends, and honestly, before we connected in person, I wasn't even sure that I was gonna reach out and tell him that I was in New York. We kind of fell off, like, talking, to be honest. I
Right.
just felt like there was something about him that I was drawn to still. I had kind of taken some time and was working on myself and going to therapy and just trying to, like, really be the best version of myself and, like, heal parts of me that maybe I didn't even realize were there. So when I was in New York, it was kind of at the end of my trip and I decided to, like, DM him and I'm like, "Hey, I'm in New York." And I thought maybe he'd be in a relationship at that point. I had no idea. And we got drinks and then think from there I extended my trip a little longer and we went on a few dates and that's kinda how it started.
I love that. Going back, paint us a picture. What was your Raya song? Because you have to
Oh
choose
my
for anyone
gosh.
listening. You have to have a song on your Raya profile, if I remember correctly. So, do you remember what your song
Honestly, I
was?
don't even remember. I feel like maybe it was something country,
Okay.
but I do remember this because Kenny, like, spilled the beans to me a little later. I am a sucker for a dad joke, not gonna
Yeah.
lie. I just love, like, a corny joke. It's so dumb, it's funny. And my opening line for on my Ryo was, "Tell me your best dad joke."
Yeah.
And I don't he didn't tell me a dad joke, but, over dates and dates and dates early on dating, he let me share different dad jokes to him. And it wasn't until, like, 6 months later, he's like, "I actually can't stand dad jokes." And I, like, almost didn't even, like, write you back on Raya because
Oh my
I just,
God.
like, hate dad jokes. I'm like, I'm offended.
Literally offended. But I mean, listen, I get it. But it's a little cheesy, but now you
It
have to
is.
share one of them with us.
Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. What did one nut say to the other nut who he was chasing?
God. Like something about crack?
I'm a cashew. I know it's so dumb, but
No, it's
gave you a
really cute.
chuckle.
I think it's cute. My husband is like the king of dad jokes, but his are truly not funny. Like maybe every one out of three. One out of three,
Yeah,
I'll give it to him.
fair.
So you start going on dates in the city, and what's next? Like you end up going home, you keep in touch.
We keep in touch. We keep the communication going. I feel like we picked up FaceTime a lot more, especially
Mm-hmm.
being long distance. You kind of have to, otherwise you're building like a surface relationship.
Right.
So we planned some trips, go back and forth. Actually, me more going to New York. We met in Florida at one point, and then we actually stopped talking for a while. Kenny's mom was really sick with cancer
Yeah, I saw he
when we
spoke
met
about that in the show.
and he was a caretaker of her, and he would fly back to Michigan every single week to be with her. and he was still working in the city. So it was a really heavy time. And he didn't have a lot of capacity emotionally to give me what he felt like I deserved. So we took a step back, and I wasn't really sure what would happen from there. I had to kind of like just let him go because of what he was going through. And, I heard him with that. I also feel like when you hold on to something, you try to hold on to something so tight, it
Yeah.
just never works.
Never a good idea.
And I just felt really calm in our connection. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna move on with my life and hope that maybe it comes back around if it's meant to be. And after she passed, or around the time, he had reached out to me, and he kind of started reaching out a little bit more. And I was like, still kind of giving him his space. And then it turned out that we were both going to be in Aspen together in the winter, not this last winter, the winter before. And we were both going to be there for 2 weeks basically with our friends. And we had planned this separately. So we kind of like picked things back up then. And I think the space obviously was really good too, to just realize, oh, wow, we do actually have something here. And like these feelings kind of rushed back.
Yeah. And then you guys became official. And then how were the conversations around you moving? And you have mentioned, or at least like before when we were talking, that you always were curious about New York. So was it more like, I want to make this move kind of regardless of you, but it would be nice that you're here and we can do this together and try this out?
Yeah, I think he didn't even really consider LA because I was considering New York when I came here, and we actually met in person.
Yeah.
I think it gave me a bigger nudge to do it because it was a little less scary, and I was going to do it regardless, but like a little less scary being like, oh, I have someone here.
Right.
And have someone I love here. And he obviously has a great friend. So that made the transition a little bit easier.
Yeah. You like what you do is also kind of like transient. Like you can live wherever. And how did you get started? Everyone has a different kind of story with that.
Totally. I actually went on The Bachelor 10 years ago.
Oh yeah, duh.
And so I know, kind of funny. And so it kind of opened doors from there. And this was like a time still when Instagram was still kind of new. Like the term influencer was still kind of new. So it was like this totally different time that it is now in social media.
So are you in touch with anyone from your Bachelor days?
Yeah, I'm actually seeing one of my best friends, Rachel Lindsay, tonight.
Yeah.
I'm still close with a few of the girls from the show.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Who was the guy on your season?
I was on Nick Vile's season.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a throwback.
I know. I was actually talking to Ashley the other day, and I feel like her and I both were in the Bachelor world when really strong girl gangs kind of came out of it, because the Bachelor's so interesting. You're in this bubble. They take away your phone.
Yeah.
And you're talking about relationships, and you have girl time all day long. So it's like
it's kind of like therapy or camp.
Yeah.
Camp therapy.
Yeah. And like you really create a strong bond with the girls.
Totally.
Yeah.
Who like convinced you to go in The Bachelor, or was it always something you were curious about?
I think I was always curious. Obviously, I feel like I've always wanted to find love. My parents are high school sweethearts, and I actually had a friend who had done the show, and she had a really positive experience. So I thought, why not just try it? I had finished school, little delayed, and I was looking for a job, and I was like, you know what? Why not? And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But it was a fun experience.
That's awesome. And I love that your parents are high school sweethearts.
Yeah.
What have you ever spoken to them about, like what kind of keeps them together like all these years? I mean, high school is crazy because we are totally different people in our teens.
It is crazy. And I think it was also such a different time when our parents got together, right? At that point, there wasn't as much access. People didn't travel as much, or like not where I was from. And you kind of have blinders to, I don't know, like sometimes I feel like we have so much access now where it can also be a negative thing.
Definitely.
But they really compromise and find things that they love to do together. And I think quality time is huge for them. So I don't know. I need to ask them a little bit more to get more of a detailed response.
Yeah, I feel like they'd be good guests on the podcast.
Yeah.
I want to hear from them. Another thing that I think is so interesting when I was doing a little background check is you have food allergies. And I feel like a lot of girls listening are kind of insecure about dating with food allergies. When do I bring it up? How do I like kind of make it feel like it's not a big deal, even if it is a big deal? How did you go about that when you were dating? Like even before meeting Kenny, just in the dating world?
I honestly never felt insecure about it. I feel like that's a bummer to hear that people feel that way, because it shouldn't be something that you should be feeling like you need to hide. If it is a part of your life and your routine, like your person also shouldn't make you feel bad about that. I do understand like that you can't always maybe like share dishes with someone and whatever, and people get over that.
Right.
I think luckily Kenny is somebody who is pretty like self or health conscious and will share dishes with me and like allow modifications. But yeah, I'm allergic to gluten, soy, corn, and dairy. So definitely high maintenance in the food department.
Yeah.
But I've had these allergies since I was 13. So
how did you find out about them?
I was really sick in middle school, and it's kind of a long story, but I was getting really bad stomach aches, and my mom, my poor mom, was feeding me toast to go to school to settle my stomach, and turns out I was allergic to gluten. So I actually had this girl doing a fundraiser, going like door to door in my neighborhood, raising money for celiac. We're like, what is that? So it wasn't really something that was talked about then.
Right.
And so my mom looked into it because she's like, I don't know, my friend has stomach pain all the time. And it turned out that I was allergic to gluten amongst other things. So I quickly felt a lot better, but back then there was no substitutes for things.
Right.
So it's such a different time now.
Totally. So what did you even do? I guess there were like rice crackers.
Yeah,
not the
like
same.
it was just not great options, and like they didn't taste the best. So it was definitely a hard transition. And at the time, like kids are doing birthday parties and all these things, and there's just so much that I need to like recalibrate with my diet. And I think especially being young, but it really forced me to read labels, be more knowledgeable about what I was putting into my body, and I started to get kind of shocked by like what's in like some products on the shelf. So Kenny kind of nudged me to launch a brand in the health food space that's like launching in the next month. So I'm very excited. It's a clean, allergen friendly snack brand.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do we know what it's called yet, or?
We do. I'm going to wait to share.
Okay. Well, I'm so excited for you. I can't wait to try. I feel like, is it kid friendly?
It's very kid friendly, and it's top like 12 to 14, depending on, I think UK does 14. In the US we do 12, but top allergen free. So it's safe for even kiddos to like bring to school, and you don't have to worry about sending them to school with like something that maybe their classmates are allergic to.
That's awesome. I feel like we need more of those kinds of snacks. I'm so curious about your decision to go on In the City. Were you guys approached? Was Kenny approached? Like, what were those initial conversations like? And was it something that kind of felt more comfortable to you because of your Bachelor days?
Yeah, it's funny because, well, Kenny was approached. He is an investor in Loverboy, so he knows Kyle and Amanda. And I think he was like acquaintances with Lindsay just being in the city.
Right.
Gavin's his best friend. So it was kind of like they were trying to put together an organic friend group.
Right.
So we got the opportunity through him. I was definitely hesitant. At the beginning, I was like, I don't think so. Like relationship and reality and like, I don't know, it's just scary. And Bravo and drama and all the things, right? That like one would like concerns that would come up. Especially after doing The Bachelor, I think you can kind of see how like producers can like manipulate or like cut your wording different. And so it made me a little nervous.
I also feel like for you specifically, like you're clearly a good person who's true to yourself, and that comes through. Like who you are really comes through. And producers can only do so much to make you look bad if you're not bad. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they can't like manipulate your personality.
Right. So I feel like there's some comfort in knowing that you're just being yourself and a good person, and like that's what's going to come through at the end of the day, which is nice.
Totally. I think at the beginning, I definitely was like a little timid when filming just because, I'm observing, I'm in a new friend group
Right.
and it's just a little scary. I'm like
Definitely.
was a little cautious.
Yeah, I feel like it was probably the hardest for you than anyone else because you're also new to a city and filming, being new, joining a friend group, moving in with a boyfriend. Like, it's a lot.
Starting a new brand. It was
Right.
like, I was like, wow, there's a lot of newness going on. I didn't even realize.
Yeah, totally. When you watched it back, how did you feel about the hiccup that we've seen where Kenny's words, I don't know if they were manipulated, but on camera we're saying like, I'm not sure if there's a spark after knowing that
Mm-hmm.
you guys have obviously a serious relationship. You're living with the guy. I'm sure you had already talked about your future. And then kind of hearing that back, were you like, why would you say that? Do you actually feel that way? What was going through your head?
Yeah, I think it's hard, especially in a new group, right? When people are trying to get to know everyone and then like something gets told in the wrong context.
Yeah.
Kenny and I had definitely talked about he was, lacking a spark for the future working out.
Mm-hmm.
So it was definitely taken out of context in that way, just because of the year he had with losing his mom,
Mm-hmm.
losing like a couple really long-term relationships, and not having talked to his dad or communicated with his dad in 25 years. So it was kind of like anyone that he's loved so deeply, he's lost. So I think he kind of, especially after, losing a parent, was a little pessimistic that like I can have my happy ending. And
Mm-hmm.
so that was something he communicated and that he was working through, and I kind of had to just support him in that. I think if you're with somebody who can even pinpoint that, first of all, but then secondly, like be working on themselves to
Yeah.
figure this out, and is this something that I really don't want marriage, uh or is this pieces of me or parts of me in my childhood that like need to be healed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that we've communicated from the beginning, but then hearing people talk about it and then having so much newness at once, I definitely started to be like, okay, I think I know what happened here, but I'm also just need to talk to like
Right.
Kenny
Mm-hmm.
and get this clarified. So ultimately it did bring us closer because it's really pushed us to have these conversations even deeper.
Yeah. Yeah. I also feel like Bravo fans are the most intense of any fans. And I can see the girls kind of like probably rallying in your DMs, being like, "Girl, you deserve better. You shouldn't have said that." And like that's hard
Mhm.
to deal with, especially when like no one's in your relationship, but we only see this little piece. Um, but I feel like you're so self-assured, like you would never put yourself in a situation unless you knew that you were being respected. So I feel like we don't have to worry about you in
Yeah,
that
I
way.
I hope so. I think I've learned my lesson. I think we've
Mhm.
all like dated those guys where you're like,
Right.
"Oh, they're going to change for me," or "Oh, this
Mhm.
is going to like they'll like change how they feel about the future." And it's
Right.
like they don't
Mhm.
unless like they're really like making steps to figure it out. And that's why I kind of had to just like let go of that thought and support him in the moment and
Yeah.
know that like hopefully he was going to get there, but it would be a risk.
Yeah. I mean, you seem like the most patient, kind woman. Like he is so freaking lucky because I would not be so kind personally. So he's really lucky that he's with you. Um, and I'm sure he knows that. And I'm sure watching it back, he's like, wow, I don't know why I said that. I sound like a jerk. And that's not how I actually felt? And I
Yeah.
loved how in the scene or the moment rather, where you're sitting on the bench with the girls, you're like, and I'll move right back out. And that's what I think women need to hear. It's like, you're taking this chance, but you still have like your dignity and grace to be like, no, if you're not gonna, treat me right, like I'm out of here. And I love that. And I think even in a world in which like it did go the other way, like you would be thriving anyway. So I just like that you showed that because I feel like women need to see that, you know, you're the prize and you know that.
Yeah, and I think, like, also that comes I mean, people learn that a little quicker. I feel like I was somebody who had to walk through fire with
Yeah.
different experiences and relationships, so, again, I think a perk of being in your 30s. You're like, I can take
Yes.
care of myself. Like, I know what I deserve.
Right.
And you kind of just like don't take shit. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that.
And you shouldn't. Of course you could say that. You have a really great friend group in LA. How did you guys get so close? And was it kind of like a later in life friendship or coming up in your 20s kind of thing?
I would say it was probably in like my mid 20s, maybe like 25, 26. I started to kind of build these friendships. A lot were through, I guess, the social media industry and going to events and seeing the same faces. And
Right.
I feel like my like natural progression after that of seeing someone multiple times is like, oh, let's do a workout. And then the workout eventually turns into coffee or brunch after. And then we kind of built our relationships that way. And our girl gang kind of like did intertwine with like one or two people. So like then it kind of grew into this bigger friend group, and I feel very lucky to have that. And I think that's why, especially on the show, you see me so emotional and my emotions heightened just because I was leaving that.
Right. That's so hard, especially because it's really hard to make friends in your 30s, moving to a new city. Have you found your New York City people yet, or do you think it's still in the works?
I think it's still in the works.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I am more open now that I'm settled in my routine.
Right.
I think I kind of had my head down with like a lot going on and then just being in my relationship and then with Kenny's friends, but I'm starting to branch out more, and I think that those relationships take time to flourish.
Definitely.
And especially when you have like such a close-knit group and they're obviously in LA, my friendship standard is so high. But yeah, it takes time.
Definitely takes time. Definitely. Did you feel and do you kind of feel like you and Kenny are on the same timeline in terms of like if you want to start a family and what that looks like? Or do you still kind of feel like, especially with what he went through with his mom and all of this stuff, that there's anything's like mismatched?
I think we're very much on the same page now.
Mm-hmm.
I think it took him a little longer to like catch up to like where my feelings were. I feel like that can happen sometimes in a relationship where one person is a little bit of ahead of like a few steps ahead than the
Right.
other. I think especially with his last year of everything that happened with his mom and his family. But I think we're really on the same page now, and we want to get engaged this year, and I think that'll happen.
And these are conversations that you guys can openly have because I just feel like so many of our listeners, and honestly, me included, like it's a scary conversation to be like, so when are we getting engaged? You know, like it's scary.
Yeah, and I don't think that I was one to ever like push that conversation, but there's definitely little ways you can kind of like insinuate
Right.
or like if a friend gets engaged, you can kind of like segue into that about you without having to like sit down with your partner and be like, what's our plan?
Totally.
Because I feel like guys can get a little scared of that.
Yes, you're so right. No, that's actually that ended up being like how I would bring up those conversations. I remember if a girlfriend would get engaged and we'd be looking at the Instagram where like the picture of their proposal and the ring, I would be like, "Oh, what do you think of her ring? Like it's so nice." You know, I'm more into an oval, you know, like something like that.
You can drop hints.
Uh-huh.
Recently we had like another conversation. It was a deeper heart to heart about like our future, and I'm excited where we are and like where we're going, and he's 41 and I'm 35. So I think, we talk about, oh, maybe we want to have 2 kids by the time I'm 40.
Right.
Like stuff like that without an exact plan.
Right.
But just knowing kind of the next step is engagement in my eyes.
Yeah, better be. That's really exciting. What are you nervous for or like worried about the most at the reunion, if anything?
I mean, Lindsay, to be honest,
Yeah.
I feel like I really appreciate Lindsay and her personality. And I think as the season goes on, I start to understand her more, which makes me not feel as guarded around her.
Right.
And you'll kind of see us have a conversation later in the season. But I don't know. I feel like just the judgment on our relationship, it'll be a little bit of defending that. And obviously Lindsay and Kenny butt heads. So
yeah, I can see
I
that.
feel like that will obviously be a topic at the reunion.
Right. Definitely. Definitely. What do you think is the difference. We kind of touched upon it before, but not really, about filming a show like The Bachelor and filming in the city. I know you said that like in the city is different because it's like your personality. Do you think The Bachelor is like a little staged?
With just the dates and stuff, obviously like certain things are
Right.
staged in that way or like set up to be like, oh, this is happening outside. Then everyone runs to the window like, oh my gosh. But I just think the difference is we didn't have our phone in Bachelor, right?
Yeah.
You're really in this bubble and you're just talking about love, you're talking about relationships, you're talking about exes, you're talking about things that really make you you, and you're having mostly a lot of time with the girls.
Yeah.
And then in the city is more, oh my gosh, we're living our life
And there's
and
just a
we're
camera.
sharing all sides of us.
Right.
And it's not just relationship, it's career, it's friendship, it's personal life. And so I think it's really different in that way. Like we're letting the world in a little bit more.
How did the West Amanda situation affect you and Kenny as, you know, castmates on a show? And I don't know how close you had gotten by then with Amanda and Kyle, either as a couple or separately. What was your reaction to it?
I mean, we had no idea. We pretty much found out around the time the world did. I knew that their relationship was not in a great place when we were filming and they were trying to make it work, but it just wasn't. We were trying to figure out if it was just too far gone at that point where like they can't get back to a place of compromise. So I feel like she was kind of checked out. Obviously didn't expect all of that to go down. And we've talked to Kyle a bit and seen Kyle.
Have you had outreach from any other like seasoned Bravo people since being on In the City, or have you connected with anyone else in the Bravo universe?
Not a ton, but I did connect with Ashley. I did her podcast, Almost Famous, last week, and it was actually really fun to talk with her. I don't know, are you watching Rhode Island Housewives?
I am. It is unreal. It's like we deserve this.
It's so far from like what I know reality to be that it's so entertaining. And she's honestly, I didn't even realize this until we started having this conversation, but she was from Bachelor too. So we connected on that. And she's like the new girl in that friend group too.
Definitely. Yeah.
And
you have a lot in
so
common.
we were like, we could really relate on our experience and our process and so much newness and kind of going in being a little guarded, just being back on TV. Both of us never really thought we would be.
Right. She also seems super genuine and just like so real and not necessarily the housewife type in terms of like flipping over a table at lunch kind of thing.
Totally. She's like the sensitive one. And I was like, I can relate. I was like, I just pulled an Ashley eye last week. I was crying multiple times. Like, I get it. Just feeling overwhelmed by like so much drama.
Totally. What is life like? I feel like you and Kenny, like you go to cool spots and I have kids, so I'm not cool anymore. Like, where are people going in the city? 35, couples, no kids, you know, like what's the vibe?
I feel like we end up at the Nines a lot. Kind of an OG spot. Chez Margot is another one. And then we kind of like have our go-to regular dinner spots, but we honestly don't really venture out.
I know what
beyond
you mean.
that.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you like what you like.
Yeah.
By the way, for listeners, the Nines is technically Acme. It's above Acme. Do you ever venture downstairs?
Not really. I've been down there before, but I feel like we usually hang out upstairs.
Right.
Less dirty of a floor.
It's true. And the caviar potato is just divine. And they have like really cute piano.
I know. I like going like and getting a little bit of the piano before the DJ.
Yeah. I love that. All right, we're going to do some fun rapid fire questions.
Okay.
By the way, are you a converted Knicks fan now that you're a New Yorker?
I mean, yeah, it's so fun to watch. And like the streets have been crazy. We also go to Rocco's a lot, obviously the sports bar. And that's really fun to even do like on a Saturday or whatever. Like even like me just being I'll root for anybody. I'm like, tell me who to root for. So I'm rooting for the Knicks, and it's just a fun vibe. It's nice that it's not like so men heavy. There's like a mix.
Yeah, there's definitely a mix. Okay, so these are poll questions that we just do on our story. Who is more touchy in your relationship, male or female?
Wait, say that again?
Like, who's more touchy? Like,
Oh,
Wants to
touchy.
hug and and like
I think me. Sometimes Kenny's like, okay, like enough kisses. I'm going to go back to work
yeah,
now.
yeah. How many months into dating did you say I love you?
Hmm. From when we first went on our date, let's see. Like 6, 7 months.
Who said it first?
Kenny said it first.
That's how it should be. Do you eat the late night snack at a wedding? Always, sometimes, or rarely? Never.
I mean, if it's French fries, duh.
Yeah. I literally got French fries from McDonald's on the way here. They're
Oh my
sitting
God,
right over
yum. That's
there.
my
They were so
weakness.
good.
Fries and an espresso martini.
For me, fries and like a soft serve. And like
Ooh.
together the flavors are
Are
just
you
so
dipper?
good. I don't dip, but I could. Like
Yeah,
I think about it, but then I'm like, I don't want the fry to get soggy,
I get that.
And the fries had just come out. They were like a new batch. So I got really lucky today. What's your makeup situation during the day? Like a normal day, not a podcast day. Are you like just concealer, face stuff, mascara, lip, or full face?
I feel like if I'm not leaving the house, I try to just do a bare face.
Yeah.
But otherwise I've kind of been into the Mary Phillips underpainting palette. It just feels like skin. It's super light. So I'll just do like a really light 10-minute makeup
Whatever
look.
you have right now is so good because it's almost like a no makeup look. Like I know there's makeup, but I can't tell you where. Do you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Which I love.
I like that. I feel like the underpainting, what is it called? Like
I don't
underpainting
I don't know, but I'm gonna look it up now.
tutorial that she does where
Uh-huh.
you like do your contour and then do the foundation over. And honestly, you don't
Right.
even really need foundation. You can do a little contour and
Mm-hmm.
blend it and like call it a day.
Yeah. You also have amazing cheekbones. Like I don't know if that's natural or what, but it looks amazing, whatever
Thank
it is.
you.
Do you need to get your sister and her fiance a wedding gift if you're the younger sister and you've already done a lot to help with the wedding?
I feel like yes. It doesn't need to
Mm-hmm.
be a huge thing. It could be
Yeah,
something sentimental, but I feel like a wedding gift, yes.
I agree. What celeb couple are you more interested in? Taylor and Travis or Kylie and Timmy?
Ooh, I feel like it was Taylor and Travis, and now I'm like, they're not doing anything crazy. So I feel like Kylie is up to like more fun things these
I
days.
do feel like Kylie, I want them to get engaged. Like, I want things to happen, but I'm also so excited for Taylor's wedding, of course, and
Yeah,
like everything that's going to come with that.
true. That's probably soon.
Yeah. No, it's July 3rd.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Crazy. At Madison Square Garden, according to Dumois.
Crazy.
I don't know
Yeah.
how legit that is. Two of your best friends aren't getting along and it's isolating one of them from everyone. Try to help or let them resolve.
I think you try to help in the sense of kind of being the grounded one to help them think from a level-headed perspective to kind of
Mm-hmm.
like get them there like separately
Right.
to come together. You know, you can't
Yeah.
force that, but I think you can kind of guide them.
I know what you mean. Your fiance has two sisters, and there's some challenging dynamics with them and you. Do you need to have them both as bridesmaids?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
I think family first. I think just is what it is,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Unless you do no bridesmaids at all, then,
Right.
it's kind of a cop out these days.
Right. Totally. I know. I'm like, I feel like all my friends did no bridesmaids, and I'm like, I kind of want to like dress up? Okay. How much do you actually care that the Knicks are in the NBA finals? A lot, a little, or neutral?
I mean, neutral-ish. I'm like
Mm-hmm.
a go sports girl,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Sports. Do you think you can tell someone's wealth based on their Instagram?
Not necessarily because a lot of people are super flashy, but they actually don't have wealth.
Exactly. I think people who post on private jets, it is the tackiest thing ever.
Yeah, I think it's an ick.
And it's a huge ick. And it's your first time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like I would much rather someone never post a private jet and like be on them every like that is so much hotter.
Yeah, unless you're excited, it's your first time, whatever.
Right.
But
Like
after
fine.
that, like, it's just
Mm-hmm.
like, it should be a quiet
It
luxury
needs everyone needs
situation.
to be quieter on
Yeah.
Instagram. Like if you're posing near like an Aston Martin, like on it, like I don't I don't trust your finances.
Totally.
Like you're about to be arrested for like money laundering or something.
Totally.
How long does it take you to pick a hotel or place to stay for vacation? Is that like your thing? Like in your relationship, do you like to be the one to plan the vacation?
Yeah, I think so. We
Mm-hmm.
really sit down and like talk about it together, but maybe I'll gather my top suggestions.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Unless we're asking like a friend or his friend if they've
Right.
been somewhere we're going, then we'll kind of go off their recommendations. But I think I try to like curate a good some good options and then decide together.
Do you have something you're looking forward to this summer, like vacation wise?
As of now, we haven't booked a Europe trip. We did a couple weeks in Europe last year, but
Mm-hmm.
I think we're gonna go out to the Hamptons a couple different times this summer, which I think will be nice. We've had so
Yeah.
much going on that we're kind of fine with it, to be
Yeah. No, that
honest.
will be really nice. And maybe there'll be some summer house crossover. Who's to
Who
say?
knows?
Who's to say? And last but not least, what are your thoughts on going out with a guy that's not your type?
I think that more people should be open
Mm-hmm.
to at least sitting down for a drink with somebody that they wouldn't necessarily think is their type
Right.
because if you get caught in that headspace of being like, I need XYZ and they need to be this, they need to be this
Right.
tall and they need to have this job or whatever, you're never going to find your person. And so I think it's good to be open because you just never know how you're going to connect with someone and their energy. And like someone could really surprise you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love that. I agree.
Yeah.
This has been so fun, Whitney. Can you leave us with a quote or piece of advice?
Ooh. I think just like this sounds so silly, but just believe in yourself and be confident and like know that you're deserving and you're worthy of like the love and relationship that you want. And I think like what energy you put out there, you're going to attract back.
I love it. Where can everyone find you, watch you, and follow you?
You can watch In the City on Tuesdays on Bravo and Wednesdays you can stream it on Peacock and then on Instagram and TikTok you can just find me at Whitney Fransway.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.